Good Thursday evening, everyone. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here. Let's take a deep dive into our forecast for the next handful of days. Before we get to the actual forecast, back in the news today, climates. Typically around this time in September, we get the official numbers for the United States in the summer season, meteorological summer, June, July, and August. And NOAA announced today that in the lower 48 states, the summer of 2021 is virtually a tie with the Dust Bowl summer of 1936 for the hottest on record across the lower 48 states. Here's a look at the temperature and precipitation anomalies during meteorological summer. Look at the intense heat out west, the warmest on record. Everywhere where you see that dark red, that means it was a warmest on record summer season. It was very warm in the northern tier of states into New England. The mid-Atlantic states really had to head down into the deep south to find much in the way of cooler than average temperatures for the summer. And of course, a lot of places were pretty wet this summer around the Great Lakes, into the southeast, into parts of New England. All the dry weather, unfortunately, was out west, where it was way too dry. And of course, we had tremendous problems with wildfires out there. All right, whenever I mention the 1930s and the Dust Bowl and some sort of comparison to recent times, every now and then, especially on Facebook, I'll get a comment like, they weren't talking about climate change back in the 30s. What happened to global warming? You know, things like that. This information is real easy to find. It's real easy to kind of debunk some of those beliefs about climate change and global warming. And while this year's map is not available just yet for the summer season, this was 2020's summer compared to average, and this year's map will look pretty similar. Notice the entire world is basically above average. Little blotches of blue here and there. 1936 Dust Bowl in the U.S. Yes, it was really hot in southern Canada and across the U.S., especially out in the plain states. But look at the rest of the world compared to the averages. Way below average in many places. So climate change, global warming wasn't much of a factor at all back in the 1930s. Climate change has really kicked into high gear during the second half of the 20th century and, of course, during the first couple of decades of the 21st century. All right, climate change around here. Yes, it's impacting our weather. It has been. It will continue to be. Now, in our specific region, we're not a spot that's going to see a lot of wildfires typically. And the increase in hurricane strength as systems are approaching land does not have much of an impact on our weather around here. In our climate zone, I would say the number one marker of climate change in our region has been the increase in total precipitation and the increase in heavy precipitation events, individual events that turn kind of extreme. We've seen this a handful of times this summer and in recent years as well. Number two, more humid summers. This year was the second most humid summer on record for our area, but generally the trend has been towards higher humidity in the late spring and the summer, even the early fall season in the last few decades. And going along with the higher humidity in the summer comes warmer summer nights. If the air has more water vapor in it, if it's more humid, temperatures are not going to drop as low at night, even if you have a clear sky. And so humidity is up. The summer temperatures at night are up. The daytime, less of a signal. Yes, the daytime temperatures are getting warmer, but not at the rate that the nighttime temperatures are getting warmer. And number four on the list, I think the increase in winter temperatures, both during the day and at night. Does that mean we're done with snow forever or anything like that? No, of course not. It's always going to snow. And in fact, in the last 12 or 13 years, as the winters have warmed, the amount of snow we've gotten has actually increased. The decade of the 2010s was much snowier than the 1970s around here, which some people, might find surprising considering the reputation the 1970s has around here. But we actually had more snow, especially early on last decade, 2010, 2011, for example, than back in the 1970s. All right, let's get to the current weather and what's going to happen as we head towards the weekend. A very comfortable day today. Cool. 71 today, 6 degrees below average. We started at a seasonable 53. This morning, we had a little bit of a breeze from time to time. I'm recording this at 7 p.m. Great rainbow conditions out there this evening. I've already gotten a few pictures via email and on social media. We've got these little showers around. In between the showers, not much in the way of residual cloud cover. And the setting sun, the sun angle's getting low, a half an hour or so before sunset. Yeah, great rainbow conditions. Weather pics, PICS, at WFMJ.com. That's the email address, or you can send those weather-related pictures to me on any of my social media outlets. These showers, and there's been some thunder occasionally with this up near the lake, and even a couple of waterspouts on Lake Erie earlier on. These showers will fade away pretty quickly after sunset this evening. This looks like an autumn dew point map, doesn't it? The drier air is pushing all the way down into the south. So a place like Atlanta, Charlotte, even Montgomery and Birmingham, Alabama, dew points are down in the 50s. Really, it's just the coastal locations of the southeast and down into Florida that are still quite humid. But even in a place like Myrtle Beach in Charleston, the drier air is going to come in tonight into the day tomorrow. But it's going to be a very temporary thing, as it tends to be at this time of the year. And even around here, this dry air won't be around for more than a couple of days before it turns kind of muggy once again. A little bit of a lake effect situation later on tonight into tomorrow morning. There's not much moisture to work with, obviously, but could there be a spritz or a sprinkle or even a rain shower in a couple of spots tomorrow morning? That's possible. Anything that's out there will fade away quickly, and we've got a great afternoon and evening on the way for high school football Friday evening. Grab the light jacket. I think most people will need it, especially if you run a little bit cool. Mid-60s at kickoff. The sun will set not long after kickoff, of course, and then 60 at halftime and probably about 55, 56 as the games end around 9:30 to 10 o'clock or so. All right, so beautiful day tomorrow as high pressure builds in, and wow, what a great day on Saturday. We might have some high cirrus clouds very early in the day. I think it's just bright and sunny midday and afternoon on Saturday. And this front starts to approach a little bit on Sunday. This front is never going to completely clear the area, but it will probably give us some high cloudiness on Sunday, and maybe it gets close enough to bring us a late day shower or a storm on Monday. But in the meantime, we've got a dry weekend forecast, and look at the big temperature jump that's coming on Sunday. Now, Saturday will start with temperatures in the lower 50s, but Sunday morning we'll be in the mid-60s. It'll be much warmer Sunday morning. That'll pave the way to a much warmer afternoon. 85 on Sunday, and it's going to start to get kind of muggy, and dew points will be elevated. Now, it's not July and early August anymore, so it gets pretty hard to have a 70-plus dew point. But in mid-September, dew points above 65, that's pretty muggy stuff, and that's going to stick around, it looks like, through the day on Wednesday, and temperatures will accompany that higher dew point air. So we're talking 85 Sunday, and we'll do that again on Tuesday. Cold front comes in probably at some point on Wednesday. Pretty good chance of showers and storms that day, maybe even a late day and late season severe weather threat with that front on Wednesday, and behind that, just a modest cool down, it looks like, for the second half of next week. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. Thanks as always for watching Weather for Weather Geeks, and tune in tonight at 11 for the latest on our forecast.